Thank you. Uh, can all of you please mute your mics before we start? That would be great. Okay. Uh, Honorable speakers, distinguished guests, students, and professionals, a very good evening to you and a very warm welcome to everyone to the closing ceremony of our STEP program. IEEE Education Society is a worldwide community of professionals dedicated to ensuring high quality education in science and engineering. IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter is delighted to have had the opportunity to host this program, which aimed to provide innovative technical training sessions for higher secondary students who live in the rural outskirts of Kerala. Our focus was to provide hands-on training sessions that were led by professional experts in competitive coding, Arduino, Internet of Things, and web development. We are privileged and delighted to have many prominent personalities share this platform with us here today for the closing ceremony of this program. Without much further ado, let us start the ceremony with the welcome address. I would like to invite Professor Muhammad Qasim, Founder Chair, IEEE Edsoc Kerala Chapter, and Vice Chair, IEEE Kerala Section, for the welcome address and introduction of IEEE Edsoc Kerala Chapter activities. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Parvati. And good evening to Mr. Bert Ditch, Director of Student and Academic Education Programs, IEEE, Mr. Kaipan Mark, Co-Chair of Chapters Committee, IEEE Education Society, Mr. C.M. Varghese, and my fellow IEEE HSOC volunteers, and our section chair Sharada is expected to join, and all participants. Let me share my screen.
Sir, it's visible.
Visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you. So we are on the valedictory function of our step, a major event of Education Society Kerala chapter. And let me just go through our Kerala section and Education Society for the brief introduction. And Kerala section was initially formed as a subsection in February 1975 under the then India section. Kerala subsection became part of Bangalore section in 1976 upon the formation of India Council, and later it became a full section in 1983. Kerala section is currently with two subsections, namely Malabar and Kochi, 13 society chapters, one joint chapter, 4 affinity groups, one technical council chapter, 88 active student branches, 250 plus student branch chapters, and 15 standing committees. And the Kerala section membership at a glance as on today is, we have 11,570 members, and with a split up of 70 associate member, 446 graduate student members, and 1 life member and 24 life senior members, and 1,122 members, 297 senior members, and the major portion, the student members, 9,579, and the affiliate 31. So totaling to 11,570 members as on today. And we actually...
Sir, the slides are not moving, sir.
It is not moving?
No, sir.
Let me check. Okay. Now it is coming?
No, sir.
Still on, now it has moved up.
Yes, sir. Now
Yeah,
the
okay.
fourth slide. Now second slide.
Yeah.
That's moving now.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now in the second slide.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the statistics of our Kerala section as on today. I think it's visible, right?
It is visible now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are a total of 11,570 members as on today, and we have the major society chapters listed here. Not all a major society chapters are listed here, and they are the Antenna and Propagation Society with a count of 136, Communication Society with a count of 832, Computer Society with a count of 3,448, Education Society with a count of 111, Engineering in Medicine and Biology with a count of 214, Photonic Society with a count of 1,151, Power and Energy Society with a count of 4,205, Robotics and Automation Society with a count of 1,008, Signal Processing Society with a count of 512, IEEE PLS joint chapter, the only one joint chapter with a count of 3,326, and the major affinity group, it is a women in engineering with a count of 6,150, and the YP is having a count of 1,200 nearly. So in addition to these society chapters, we have the 4 affinity groups, that is women in engineering, YP, then consultants network, and life member affinity groups. And we do have 15 standing committees also in Kerala section. And with this count of 11,570, the Kerala section is right now second in the world in terms of membership count, just behind Beijing section with say some 500 to 600 members difference. So Beijing is 12,000 plus. So we are second in globally on membership count, and our society chapters, namely the Power and Energy Society chapter is number 1 in global ranking, and our Computer Society chapter is number 2 in global ranking, and IEEE PLS joint chapter is number 3 in global ranking. And these society chapters are very vibrant in its activities with the support of its professional execom and student execoms. And Kerala section bagged too many awards recently, MGA as well as Region 10 awards. MGA Awards 2021 MGA Outstanding Section Membership Recruitment and Retention Performance, 2020 MGA Outstanding Large Section Award, and going to the R10, 2021 R10 Best Membership Growth Award, 2019 R10 Outstanding Large Section Award. With these awards, we can realize that Kerala section is one of the outstanding sections globally, bagging too many awards. And now coming to the Education Society Kerala chapter, our chapter, the new chapter in the Kerala section got approval on 20th April 2021. That means 6 months before our chapter got approved. And we conducted a number of programs jointly with Hyderabad chapter, jointly with Power and Energy Society chapter, jointly with Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society chapter, and student branches also. We have 3 student branch chapters also in Kerala section of this Education Society chapter. And the different programs are listed here. June 5th, the first program, that was the COVID-19, a review of the recent epidemiology and advances in diagnostics and control measures by Dr. Dinoop KP. Then on June 23rd, a webinar on security for remote workspace by Ms. Jyoti Ramaswamy. Then on June 14th, the inauguration of our Education Society Kerala chapter was held, and chief guest was Mr. Edmundo Tovar, the president of IEEE Education Society. And in that function, inaugural function, we honored the most senior member of Kerala section, Dr. KPP Pillai. 56 years of IEEE membership was honored in the function. So he is the senior most IEEE member in Kerala section. and he is the sixth senior most in India Council also. And this is a poster in connection with our Education Society chapter, and we can see that Dr. Edmund Tovar was inaugurated that, and our website was inaugurated by our Professor Rosa, and our Vice Chancellor APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University was there. Then Art and Director Mr. Deepak Mathur was there. Then VK Matthews was there, and our India Council Chair was there. Art and Secretary Dr. Samir was there, and Kerala Section Chair Dr. Mrs. Sharda Jagishan was also present for the inaugural section, in addition to the members of Edsoc. And the programs, we continued with the programs, and August 18, we had a webinar on e-delivery of EMR for a value-based healthcare by Dr. Geeta Govindan, IEEE senior member and scientist G Computer Division, Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Science and Technology, Trivandrum. Then on August 28th, we had a tri-webinar series, the first webinar on the tri-webinar series, in collaboration with Hyderabad chapter, how to select your research topic supervisor and fixing the timelines, by Dr. Manoj B.S., Professor, Indian Institute of Space Science Technology, Trivandrum, and he is the chair of EMBS chapter also, Society chapter also, Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society chapter also. So the first series was held on August 28th on the tri-webinar series on research methodologies. And we had another webinar on smart power grid technologies and educational approaches by Dr. Sugumar Kamalasadan, Distinguished Professor, University of North Carolina, Charlotte, on September 3rd. Then on September 11th, webinar on grid flexibility to enable renewable energy integration by Mr. Anil, Deputy Chief Engineer, retired, KSAB Limited. Then on September 19th, the second webinar on the tri-webinar series, Strategies for High Quality Research, by Dr. Manoj B.S. And we organized an idea pitching competition, namely Ideathon, in September and October, and the competition for the students. And the first, second, and the third winners were Rizwan MS, Gautam Baiju, and Nitin Naushad. A contest for students. Then we had October 5th organized a virtual ceremony to celebrate IEEE Day 2021. And the major agenda of the event was to celebrate IEEE Day by honoring the prominent members of IEEE Kerala section. We honored 4 senior most chairs of IEEE Kerala section, and Dr. Chinmaya, he is the best teacher award winner, national best teacher award. So we honored all these 4 former chairs, as well as this best teacher award winner, Dr. Chinmaya. Then on 9th again, as part of IEEE Day celebration, we organized a panel discussion. The topic was career guidance for engineering students. Then on October 23rd, we inaugurated another educational platform in collaboration with Infosys, namely IEEE Edsoc, Kerala chapter, KC, Gateway to Infosys Springboard, that was inaugurated on October 23rd. Then on October 24th, the webinar, third series of the tri-webinar series, PPP, that is the Publish, Patent and Prosper Strategy by Dr. Manoj B.S., Professor, IIST Trivandrum, was held. Then November 9th, webinar on the topic, Building a Remarkable Career, as part of the RSTEP program. That is the current program. We had this for the participants of the RSTEP by Vineet Vinny. Then November 18th, webinar on artificial intelligence was held by Dr. Karthikeyan Chitel, scientist E, in association with our student branch chapters. And November 28th, that means yesterday, we had a webinar on difference between course-based education and research by Dr. Sripat Kalmakar, Professor IIT Madras. And one more session for the R-Step participants was there. That is a career opportunities after plus 2 was held by Mr. Shoaib on 3 days back. So these were the programs organized by our IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter in a short span of, to be frank, 7 months. And you can see some more posters here. That is the IEEE Day celebration, and we honored Dr. Gomadi K, Engineer N.T. Nair, Professor V.K. Damodaran, and Engineer Harindra Lal, former senior most chairs of IEEE Kerala section, and Dr. Chinmaya Saha, the outstanding teacher award winner. And there was a talk, a distinguished speaker was also present for the IEEE Day celebration. That was Engineer K.M. Dareshan Unithan, IEEE senior member and former director of Energy Management Center, Kerala. And felicitations were by Dr. Samir, Mrs. Sharada Jayagishnan, and A.K. Suhair for the IEEE Day that is held on October 5th. Then on October 9th, as part of the IEEE celebrations, we had a panel discussion for the engineering students, that is career guidance for engineering students. Moderator was Dr. Chitra Prasad, and the panelists were Engineer Sadish Rao, Engineer Sindo Joseph, and Engineer Saj Kapoor. Then, the Edsoc Kerala chapter, Gateway to Infosys Springboard, democratizing learning. That inauguration ceremony was also held. Chief guest was the Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Then Infosys people were present, and Region 10 Director Dibik Mathur and our team were also present for the event. Now, we can see the growth of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter from the inception of the chapter. And at the starting, in April 2021, the membership count was 25. And this grown up to 31 in May, 49 in June, 67 in July, 71 in August, 82 in September, 105 in October, and as on today, we have 111 members. So the growth is 400% in terms of the starting strategy. Now, this slide shows the Edsoc chapter's global ranking based on membership count. And you can see that Kerala section is globally number 3 on membership count. Above that, we are having the Spain section and another joint chapter, that is a South Brazil joint chapter of 5 society chapters. And second is the Spain section, and the third is the Kerala section with 111 members. So this is the status, global status of Education Society in a short span of 6 months. And we are number 1 in region 10. You can see that in region 10, Kerala section is number 1. And so definitely in India Council also, we are number 1. We do have 3 society chapters in Kerala section, student branch society chapters, and they are at College of Engineering Peruman, and then NSS College of Engineering Palakkad, and Amrita Vishwa Vidya Bidam. So these are the student branch chapters in Kerala section. So this is the status of Education Society Kerala chapter as on today. So we had a growth of tremendous growth from 25 to 111 in a short span of 7 months. And this is because of the professional Exicom members and the student Exicom members of Educational Society chapter. We had a professional Exicom of 20 members and a student Exicom of 13 members. And the combined or the joint effort of all these Exicom members contributed for the these activities of IEEE Education Society, and to make it number 1 in region 10 and number 3 globally in terms of membership count. And I do have a request, and when we compare with other society chapters, 111 is a very low value. And most of the society chapters offers free membership for student members or 50% discount for student members, and such promotions are there. And I request Edsoc team also to consider this request so that the vibrancy of our education society can be spread all over the world. And with this, I conclude my this talk, and I welcome our chief guest. And yeah, that is exactly my duty. That is Mr. Bert Ditch, Director of Student and Academic Education Program, IEEE, to this valedictory function. I also extend a warm welcome to Mr. Kaipan Mark, Co-Chair of Chapters Committee at IEEE Education Society, and I welcome our Chair of the meeting, Engineer CM Varghese, and the other IEEE Edsoc team members, and our section chair, Mrs. Sharada Jayakrishnan, also to this valedictory section. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much, sir, for welcoming everyone and giving an introduction to the IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter. Now, I would like to invite Mr. CM Varghese, Chairperson, IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, for the presidential address. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, one and all. Distinguished guest of the day, Mr. Bert Ditch, Director of Student Activities and Academic Education Program at IEEE. Mr. Kaipan Mark, Co-Chair of Chapters Committee at Edsoc, and Mrs. Sarada Jayakrishnan, the Kerala Section Chair, Professor Muhammad Qasim, Vice Chair, Kerala Section, as well as the Founder Chair of Edsoc, Keso Sami sir, or Edsoc Advisor, and Mr. Subish, Education Activities Chair, and Mr. Sarath, Student Activities Chair. I'm really happy to have the closing ceremony of our step with two international guests. And about Kerala section as well as Education Society, Professor Qasim has explained in detail. To complement and add to that, as you know, the major visions of Education Society is higher quality education in science and engineering, engaging engineering students, and new theories and learning science, innovate classroom practices, etc. Here, to reach this vision, we had some local missions, which is fitting the state circumstances, in fact. And as you heard, in the last 6 to 7 months, we have grown to such a level, having so many activities which was relevant to the education society, or education as such. So one of the major activities at the very beginning we thought was a very in-depth industry academic linkage, interaction to get benefited bilaterally. Academy should get benefit from industry, and industry should get benefited from academy for the growth of both sides. So the first inauguration session itself, we had peoples from, the veterans from both. So next, one of the major activities we planned and we started was a major skilling education training program with one of the IT giants in the world, Infosys. The Infosys Springboard, which is a massive training skilling program for students, unemployed, even upskilling of professionals. So this is already just launched by us. And another program which we went down to rural, which is, India lives in the rural areas. We're educating the downtrodden children in the rural areas to come up to the technical side, engineering side, the R-STEP program. The details will be split here by Mr. Sarath. Another program which is in the pipeline is the associating with the Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission, where a 2 million employment is thought in next 5 years. So Education Society is planning to join with them for skilling, training, and educating in the needy in the coming years. So definitely by next year you can see IEEE Kerala Education Society will be the number one in the world. And I take this opportunity to congratulate and thank Professor Muhammad Qasim, who is our founder chair, who took the pain for the membership development to such a level. And sure, with his guidance and presence, next year this time we will be the number one. And one request to the international dignitaries at this time. So, Kerala is a state where the literacy level is very high, the population density is high. So we request through IEEE Education Society opportunities for higher educations for our professionals in future, wherever you will be able to support us, and employment opportunities for our professionals in MNCs, wherever it will come into your knowledge, and research opportunities in new and innovative technology arising out of the pandemic situation as of now and expected in future. And sure, it will be you will be supporting mutually and benefited mutually. And with these words, I conclude wishing a nice evening to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I invite Mr. Sharath S., Student Activities Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to give a presentation on our step. Over to you, Sharath.
Okay. Hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Just a minute, I will share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible. Please
Okay.
go on.
Yeah. Thank you. So our step actually the Rural Student Technical Enhancement Program was initiated by me, and it went very successfully. So this was a schedule of our step. On 13th October, we conducted our seminar and shortlisting his competition, and we announced the selected students. Since there were huge number of participants, and with the given allotted fund, we could only select a few numbers. And on that, we conducted a session on web development and C programming, depending on the preference of the delegates. And main stream was Arduino and IoT. It was conducted during 13th and 14th, and also on 20th and 21st of November. And based on the Arduino and IoT sessions, we conducted a project competition, and it was project deadline was yesterday, and today the closing ceremony and award distribution of the project competition. So steps we received almost 600 registration from rural schools across Kerala. From that, we selected 110 students from the quiz competition, which mainly conducted 3 technical sessions and 3 non-technical sessions. So those 3 technical sessions were uh, mainly Arduino and IoT. We splitted the Arduino and IoT into 2 batches, guided by 2 different vendors. Almost 16 plus hours we had. It was attended by all the 110 participants. And other 2 technical sessions were web development and C programming. We have the delegates to choose the option whether they can attend development or C programming based on their interest. C programming are preferred by majority of the students, and web development by others. So these were mentors of our Arduino and IoT, Mr. Abhinav Raju and Mr. Hari Govind, who those who handled the Arduino and IoT sessions. And the web development sessions were handled by Mr. Akshay Krishnan and Mr. Hari Prasad. And the C programming session was handled by Mr. Agarsh Ashok. So 3 non-technical sessions were there. One is the career guidance program. So it was handled by Suhaib as from iSolutions. It was actually a 2-hour session. and also in a session on building a remarkable career. It was also a 2-hour session by Mr. Vinny Dwini, creative process coach. And since it was the delegates of school students, a small introduction to Google Apps and importance of LinkedIn were explained to all the students by myself. And it was also a 2-hour session. And the main key point of this event is that we provide an kit worth rupees 2000, extremely free, entirely free for the students. So as part of that, we could see a majority of the results in the project competition as the outcome. We received 47 projects with a very huge tight competition, and we can know it during the result announcement of those. And I'm showing a small video submitted by one of the student here, a really impressive one. A small automation project done by him. So when he moves off, the light get automatically off. So I'm actually really happy that these students are involved in this. This video shows me that the great success of the event. And we have a prize pool of 3 rupees 6,000. We are not giving as a price amount. We'll be providing this worth kits for them, those who for the winners. And thank you. This is all about the step in a short.
Thank you, Mr. Sharad.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We are pleased to have the presence of Mr. Bert Dish, Director of Student and Academic Education Programs, IEEE, with us here today. I invite Mr. Bert Dish for the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen, everybody.
Screen not visible at.
Yeah,
It's coming up.
visible
It's
now,
coming
sir.
up. Yeah, it's coming in. Yeah, fine.
So there we go. You should be seeing it now.
Yes,
Now,
it's
yes,
visible.
yes, yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for inviting me today. I have a great connection with Kerala section, having worked with them on our early career faculty program a few years ago. So it's great to be reconnected with your Education Society chapter. We also have a great relationship with the Education Society in a lot of different areas. So it's great to see us all working together today. And my first comment is just to congratulate you on the successful completion of your RSTEP program, which is part of our IEEE STEM grant program. So congratulations. It looks like it was a great success. A lot of work, effort, planning, commitment, and dedication went into it. And for a lot of us, there is nothing like inspiring the next generation to STEM careers. That's what we do in IEEE. As a steward of the profession, we are heavily invested in making sure there's a talented pool of individuals who will choose STEM careers and help us advance technology for humanity. So again, congratulations on a great job. What I want to do today is just give you a kind of an overview of where we are with STEM outreach and what we're doing on the society level, and with the great work of chapters and sections and student branches and technical societies. This is just a snapshot of some data we've been collecting. And it's from November 4th, so it's a few weeks old, obviously, but we've never had this data before. Our STEM portal has made this possible to collect some of this data. So up to now, we've had, well, I should say the beginning of November, almost 1,900 volunteers have been involved in 152 events that have been held in 26 countries. And all of these are related to STEM and STEM outreach. So we've impacted almost 11,000 students, almost 1,000 teachers have been trained, and almost 1,800 parents have been engaged. And it's a great success. We know with COVID, there's been a great impact on activities and events, but to have this result in this very challenging year is really satisfying. And we'll be adding the results of your RSTEP program to this eventually. So you'll be seeing these numbers in these total numbers, but we're really proud of the impact we've made in a short time. And this STEM portal is actually something new. It's a new approach. And you know, we've really had to understand what's going on in IEEE. IEEE is wide, it's deep, and there are hundreds and hundreds of STEM activities that were done each year. And this is, of course, prior to 2021. But the reality is, as successful as we've been, and sometimes our size works against us. So we have a fragmented approach. We have a lot of activities, but we have no coordinated effort. And there really was never a defined methodology or strategy about how you should conduct STEM outreach, how you should collect the information, and so on. There is no place for volunteers to share their information, their best practices, no place for volunteers to go for resources. And one of the biggest things, as I've just mentioned, there was no outcome in impact data that demonstrated our collective STEM efforts. How are we doing in STEM outreach? And I think that's one of the most important aspects. So we in educational activities, and particularly student and academic education programs, a part of, again, the educational activities operating unit within IEEE, we took a look and asked some framing questions. You know, how can we maximize our impact? Is there a more impactful approach we can use to do STEM outreach? And, you know, we came up with a shift in our strategy. If some of you are familiar with what we do in educational activities, you know, we've based our programs on tryengineering.org. It's a portal where we actually invite teachers and students to come to it and learn about STEM, learn about engineering, helps teachers bring engineering into their classrooms. But the reality is people have to come to it. We realized that the real impact in IEEE are the things you are doing, what you just demonstrated. Our IEEE communities are around the globe. We have members in 160 countries, 342 sections, almost 2,600 chapters, almost 3,500 student branches, about 268 Eta Kappa Nu chapters, and 39 technical societies. All of these communities employ volunteer expertise, volunteer experience, and a volunteer reach. And our idea was, let's shift away from just doing concentrated society level activities and focus in on where we can have the most impact, our volunteers, what you are doing. So the idea is to leverage our IEEE global communities to have a greater STEM impact and STEM outreach. And the whole idea here, again, it's about employing your power, the power of you as volunteers, your expertise, your experience, and the range to drive STEM outreach. Whether it's a technical council, whether it's an IEEE Eta Kappa Nu chapter, a technical chapter, a section, affinity group, a student branch. The idea here is leverage what you're doing to engage and impact as many students as possible. And we're just seeing the start of that. And you've done a great demonstration with your RSTEP program. You know, if we go back and focus in on what we're trying to do within IEEE, you know, increasing the workforce pipeline, getting more students to choose that path. We have a number of things we have to do in order to get that kind of awareness in those students. So teaching them how to become a technical professional, connecting them to engineering and technology role models, showing them and demonstrating real life success in engineering and technology. And what you were doing, hands-on practical activities. So the idea through what we're trying to do is provide you as volunteers with more opportunities and resources so that you can create those volunteer generated STEM activities to impact as many students as possible. And the goal for these students, for this youth, is they will be able to see themselves as someone who can change the world through engineering and technology. And that's our ultimate goal. And through that effort, through a lot of work with a lot of volunteers, a number of staff members across all of IEEE, we created this STEM portal. And the idea of the STEM portal is for volunteers to share, to give back, to inspire. We launched the program on the 21st of January. So we've had almost a year of operation. And the whole idea of the portal is to share your programs, knowledge, and insights and experience to support the work of other volunteers. We've got a way to highlight your STEM program, share your know-how with other volunteers so they can, and you can also access a repository of STEM outreach resources. And in the end, we've got new and enhanced programs that means more students and teachers are impacted. So the STEM portal is a volunteer resource. It has a searchable library of current STEM and pre-university programs. These programs have been developed by you as volunteers and also some of our external partners who are engaged in STEM outreach. There's a resource page to support your current programs or help you enhance and create new programs. As I've mentioned before, we have a metrics and impact mechanism now. We are creating an awards and recognition program. We've actually created a STEM ambassadors program to act as liaisons between the local communities and us to help encourage STEM outreach. And of course, the STEM grant program, which we put out 18 STEM grants this year, totaling $35,000. And we're already starting to see the return on that great investment. And we'll be doing more of this as we go forward. The idea for you as volunteers, the ability to share your great programs. We want you to be able to put this program now into the STEM portal so that others might be able to do something similar. We want to be able to have you find a program to host or organize. Maybe you want some new ideas, learn best practices, make STEM connections, and build a local STEM community with the intent, again, of impacting as many students as possible. I'm closing with this, what I call our volunteer STEM outreach ecosystem. And the idea, as I've said, is leveraging all of IEEE's global communities to impact as many students as possible. You can see on this inside here are our global communities, our volunteers, all of our outreach activities. In the end, we're trying to impact those pre-university educators and those pre-university students. The portal has the online program library, how-to resources. We've got a STEM community in Collaboratech. We are now tracking STEM events. We're getting all those results reported, and we're going to have impact data that demonstrates how we're doing. We've got a lot of partners within IEEE Reach from the History Center, IEEE USA, the IEEE technical activities like the Education Society, MGA, Women in Engineering, and also, of course, within our educational activities, our own tryengineering.org, Try Engineering Tuesday, the STEM grant program, our STEM ambassador program. All of these things together are designed to help us leverage our global communities, the expertise of you as volunteers to impact as many students as possible. And, we've created this map that's kind of modeled on IEEE Day, but one day soon, you're going to see this map completely filled with STEM activities and STEM events, mobilizing, again, the global reach of IEEE to impact as many students as possible with hundreds and hundreds of STEM activities offered each year. You're already part of the team. I just want to re-emphasize this. We look forward to your participation in the future, getting your full report on this great activity you've done. But if there are other things you'd like to get involved with, please let us know. We're always looking for people to be on our working teams. And again, make sure you're using the STEM portal. We also could maybe feature something with our Education Society on Try Engineering Tuesday. These are monthly webinars for teachers, and of course, tryengineering.org. So the idea for all of us is to share, give back, inspire, and working together, we're going to impact as many students as possible. And you, with your work, have gotten us on a great start, and we're looking forward to a continued collaboration with you. So again, congratulations on a job well done. And I do appreciate being invited to present today, and look forward to future activities with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time.
My pleasure.
And we would like to present you with this virtual memento. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, what is that?
We are sorry for the delay.
Oh, okay, no problem. Oh, wow, thank you.
This virtual memento is a representation of our gratitude towards you. We request you to receive it, sir.
Thank you so much. Again, my job as a staff member is to help you. So I do appreciate the recognition, but it's all about helping you. And again, thank you all for all you're doing to inspire that next generation and for advancing technology for humanity.
It's our pleasure, sir. Thank you. And I think now it would be great if we all got a virtual photo together. So I request everyone to please switch on their cameras. Please, everyone. Okay, we can get the photo now. 3, 2, 1, IEEE.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was a delightful moment. Moving on. Next, we have a special invited talk by Mr. Kai Pan Mark, co-chair of Chapters Committee, IEEE Education Society. I invite Mr. Kai Pan Mark for the talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. And let me share my screen first. Yeah. Can you see my
Yes, sir.
PowerPoint?
It's visible.
Yep, we see it.
Okay, thank you. Great. My name is Kai Pan Mark. I'm from
Looks
Hong
like your
Kong.
presentation. It looks like you're not sharing now. Something happened.
Okay, then I'll share again maybe. Should be fine, right?
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay. Hello, good evening, colleagues from Kerala. My name is KP Mark. From... Yeah, can you see me? Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
it's visible now.
you can see it. Yeah, screen is visible now. Screen is visible now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So everything's okay right now?
It can be very screenable. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yes. I have two capacity for the more on the educational society level, and I'm the chair of the chapters committee, and on a more regional level, and I'm the vice chair of IEEE Hong Kong section education chapter. So I try to keep my presentation within the time limit, and let me share some experience we gained from servicing the Hong Kong pre-university education with you. Well, I can say we are very near geographically, but now the COVID separates us. I remember when I took a flight from Hong Kong to Hyderabad, it was say around 5 to 6 hours, if I remember correctly. But just this afternoon, I checked the Google map, and then it shows me the flights from Hong Kong to your city should take 17 hours and 5 minutes, which I
Sir,
think, well,
sir, you're still in the first slide. It's not been moved to the second one yet.
maybe there's some delay, right?
Yeah.
Can you
Sir, could
see?
you do one thing? Could you please share the all screen rather than
Okay,
the
I try
top
to
one?
share the all screen then. Okay, let me share again.
Uh,
Okay, I've stopped it. So can you see me, the map?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, great. There is it shouldn't be a long flight geographically, but due to the COVID, and then many flights are cancelled. And then I just searched from Google this afternoon, and it shows me that if I want to fly to see you to attend in person, and then it will take 17 hours. So we are not geographically, we are not very far apart. But when it comes to traveling, it's really, really a distance and quite long journey time. A little bit history about the Hong Kong Education Society chapter, and we like you have been very active in STEM education for more than 10 years, and one of the common features is that we are quite keen on helping those in the rural areas. Although Hong Kong is one of the most developed cities in Asia Pacific, and then we still have some rural area. We have some small schools with less privileged students. And then in the past, we have been devoting our efforts to train the IEEE volunteers to support these schools and we even go into the classrooms to co-teach with the teacher. Now, Hong Kong's session the education chapter is successful also in organizing the regional TAO conference, which is a flagship conference of IEEE Education Society in Asia Pacific Region 10. And we've been organizing the conference in 2012 and 2017. And we were also the co-organizer in the year of 2015 in the Zhuhai city, which is 2 hours drive from Hong Kong. Well, we have been awarded with the Chapter Achievement Award in 2012. So with some experience to maybe we can also share with you, and then we learn from each other about that. IEEE pre-university education is also one of our focus, and we provide training to IEEE volunteers in just let them to support the pre-university education in the local context. In the past, there's IEEE Teacher in Service Program, TISP, and the aim is to train the trainer program targeting IEEE volunteers and local leaders. So this is the map showing events running by IEEE volunteers in the upcoming days. And you see that Hong Kong's here, and then we are organizing a STEM competition in 2 weeks' time. So on the 7th of December, some secondary school students will gather in the University of Hong Kong to showcase their project, which is being mentored by one professional mentors like us, who are the in-service engineers or the university faculty members, and also one undergraduate student. And they will work on different projects, like creating a solar boat and creating an AI stick for the blind and older people. Let me go through some history on how we run the training to IEEE volunteers. Let's go back to the year of 2009 in Shenzhen, which is 1 hour drive from Hong Kong, our neighboring city. IEEE Educational Activities Board organized a 2-day training event to the IEEE volunteers, who were then expected to provide support in STEM education to their local communities, especially to outreach to the schools and work with in-service teachers and pre-university students to deliver some STEM-related activities. Now, so what happened after the 2009 trainer event that's happening in Hong Kong? And then IEEE volunteers work with some teachers in the rural schools. These schools are very remote in terms of the distance from the city center to the schools, which are all most likely in the villages along the Hong Kong and mainland China boundary. So these school children, they may not have as much as resources as those schools in the downtown. And they may also, there's also a lack of external support given to the schools. For example, the visitors or guests who are going to deliver the chores or activities to them because of the geographical distance from the city center. So we partnered with rural small schools together, and our volunteers were supported by university faculty members to deliver the STEM activities. So you can see from these pictures, volunteers, they brought the equipment, the hardware for students, and led the student to assemble some electrical circuits. So we brought the breadboard, the wires, the battery, all these simple but useful accessories to the school from the university. So we had the debriefing with the school, the headmaster, as well as the STEM teachers on how we could follow up with the activities. Now, there are some resources to help the volunteers. We also based on the tryengineering.org to inspire our design of the pedagogy and activities. But I would like to emphasize that you need to localize your context. Some materials, the hardware may not be readily available in the market, and we advocate that the materials should be affordable and easily available in the market in your local settings. So localize it, localize the lesson plans, and keep everything localized and generate new ideas. Now, this is another resource, Merlot. that may be useful for you to get some open educational resources to design your classes for the students, as these are endorsed by IEEE Education Society and Computer Society. I would intend to keep my presentation short and concise, so this is a bit of my sharing from the angles of a global session as the chapters committee, as well as your regional contacts in Hong Kong and Asia Pacific. So that's the end of my talk, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaipan Mark, for the really insightful talk on IEEE Hong Kong Education Society Chapter STEM activity. Earlier this year, I was honored to also be selected as the IEEE STEM ambassador, and we sure will check out both the Merlot website and the programs that you have. Here is a small virtual memento as a token of our gratitude for the wonderful insights that you shared with us today. Do accept it.
Thank you.
Thank you again, sir.
Thanks.
Moving on, I would like to now invite Professor Mohammed Qasim, Founder Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, and the Vice Chair of IEEE Kerala Section, for the felicitation and prize distribution for the Art Step Project competition. Qasim sir.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Gayatri. And I'm really very delighted to felicitate on this occasion and really to felicitate the participants for their wonderful participation in all the events, starting with the two courses, either C programming or the web design. We gave them the choice, then the Arduino and IoT training. So they completed successfully, and they presented some projects. And I thank Sharath, Edsoc team members, and IEEE Try Engineering and the STEM portal for the support and everything to make it a grand success. Thank you all, and wish all the best for upcoming projects also. And right now, let me announce the results of the project competition. And I start with the third position winners, and they are Gopika G, Government Moyen Model Girls Higher Secondary School, Palakkad. Then Nigel Krishnan A, Government Vocational Higher Secondary School, Thiruvananthapuram. Then Muhammad Nawaf P, GM, Government Model Higher Secondary School, Perindalmanna, Malappuram. And Vijayashree M, Government Higher Secondary School at Tenganam. So they were the third prize winners. Congratulations and best wishes to all the winners at the third position. Yeah. Once again, congrats. Now moving to the second position, Nihal M, Technical Higher Secondary School, Perindalmanna, is the winner for the second position, along with Muhammad Shahis, Government Higher Secondary School, Anamangad, Malappuram. Then Muhammad Rishad Rashin, PTMY Higher Secondary School, Cherur, and Gobiga CS and NHSS Pardala Badiedka. So these were the winners at the second position, and congratulations and the best, all the best. And so the most excited, the first position goes to Jasin, Technical Higher Secondary School, Perindalmanna, Angadipuram, and Muhammad Shammas VK, Government Higher Secondary School, Tengara. Again, congratulations to all the winners and the best wishes in their upcoming projects. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all. You actually give us a very huge, tight competition. It was very hard us to select the winners. So congratulations to all who submitted the projects and all the attendees.
Hearty congratulations, one and all, for all the Art Step winners and all the Art Step participants. Everyone is a winner today. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Keshav Swami sir, advisor of Education, IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, for the felicitation and award distribution for the Ideathon winners. Keshav Swami sir, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Gayatri. Good evening to all. I congratulate Professor Subesh and his team for a lovely ideathon competition, right from conceptualization to the execution, to bring out innovative ideas from engineering students across Kerala. The globe is slowly returning to normalcy. We all need to be prepared for post-COVID challenges. Those challenges will be very different. In that sense, the theme of the event was really a timely one. Post-COVID higher education, innovations for the way forward. We are very pleased to receive 37 idea proposals from 18 engineering colleges across Kerala. The quality of proposals was very, very impressive in general. The shortlisting for awards was indeed very, very tricky, involving proposal evaluation, followed by evaluation presentation of the shortlisted candidate. I was very happy to be part of this expert panel along with Professor Subesh, Educational Activities Chair of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, and Engineer Shyam Pradeep Palil, Joint Secretary of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, that evaluated the proposal. While I congratulate the 3 award winners of Ideathon competition, Mr. Rizwan MS, Mr. Gautam Baiju, and Mr. Nidin Naushad, I also place on record my appreciation for all other participants too, and I am sure for them also the awards are not far away. I sincerely believe the IEEE leadership, starting from IEEE Kerala section to IEEE global leadership, as demonstrated by participation from our global leadership team, and the remarkable contribution of IEEE volunteers at all levels, make the IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter as one of the most vibrant young societies, just 8 months old, young societies across the globe, benefiting student and professional communities immensely in the state of Kerala. And the present Ideathon competition is one of those important events under its umbrella. Best wishes to all. Stay safe. This is not the right time to relax your guards against COVID. I thank you all again. I pass it back to Professor Gayatri. Good evening to all.
Thank you for the felicitation, Keshav Swami sir. Let me call out the Ideathon winners' names and their specific project titles. So the first prize winner of the Ideathon is Mr. Rizwan, MS. He is from the College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and he presented a project idea titled Application Oriented Network of Learning. The second prize was awarded to Gautam Baiju from the Government Engineering College, Thrissur, for his project idea titled Classroom 2.0. The third prize winner was Mr. Nidin Naushad from Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri, for his project titled Automated Temperature Sensing and Vaccine Verification. Hearty congratulations to all of you once again. The winners of the Ideathon competition will be awarded prizes worth rupees 3,500, IEEE memberships for the year 2022, and IEEE Education Society memberships. In addition to that, certificates of participation will be provided for all the participants. Good job, everyone. A big round of applause to all of you. Hearty congratulations. Now, we are nearing the close of this ceremony. But before we end, we would like to invite Abhinav Rajiv and Hari Govind. They are both R-Step mentors who really stayed with us and made the R-Step program successful. So, from the IEEE Education Society chapter, we'd like to hear your experiences and a few words from you. Abhinav and Hari Govind, are
Yeah.
you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Hi, all. So my name is Abhinav. I was one of the mentor for this IoT and Arduino workshop. So it gives me immense pleasure to stand here, like giving a few words on this students. So why I asked Sarath for this talk is that we intended to have around 3 members, okay, 3 positions for the results, the finalists. So what happened is that when we were segregating the results, we came to know that we already put around 7 to 8 sections where we can mark the students according to the coding, the wiring diagram, all those stuff. We divided the subdivisions with it for 7 segments. Though there were 7 segments, many of the students were in a tie. So that surprised us with a limited number of senses, with a limited time after in between the exams, how students dedicated themselves to do these projects. And some of the projects were so outstanding. So with the limited senses, how they are coming up with these projects were so uh, amazed as far as we as mentors are considered. So that's why we come up with the solution like we can distribute the awards like over 10 students of total candidates. So that's how we come up in this results. So from the bottom of my heart, I congratulate especially the Edsoc chapters for organizing such a practical event, practical feasible event in this time of pandemic. Like even in my high school times, I never thought of getting an Arduino at that time. So getting a component for this experimenting things, coming with projects, really boost up their quality when they are introduced to a engineering environment. So once again, thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. Uh, yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Abhinav. Hari Govind, are you there?
Yeah, yes. I believe I am visible and audible. Good evening, everyone. It's my immense pleasure to be part of this event, and I'm very much privileged to mentor each and every student for the past 3 weeks, almost past 3 weeks. And to be honest, as Abhinav said, it was a cumbersome process to identify the winners because in my bottom of my from my bottom of my heart, I am sure that all the students who submitted the project have successfully completed the project with flying colors. And it was very difficult to find the winners, within the champions. Nevertheless, we have completed this wonderful event, and I wholeheartedly thank each and every one of the team as well as the students. And even though most of them are not winners, please don't stop what you're doing. Follow your passion, dream big, because with each and every one of you is a champion, and the concepts, the way you think critically is very important, is wonderful. The way you think, the way you do is in a way that within a couple of years you will create something big and will change our society, hence our country and the world. All the best to all the winners. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for your wonderful, heartfelt sharing and words of motivation, Hari Govind. Thank you so much. So now we are almost at the end of this event. I would like to invite Engineer N.P. Subish, Educational Activities Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to give the word of thanks and conclude today's ceremony. Over to you, Subish, sir.
One point, madam. I think we should have invited the winners also here to share their experience. Maybe in the next time we should have it.
Sure.
Such competitions, winners come to the stage and our debates. So maybe next event we will have.
Sure, sir.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Gayatri. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter to express my sincere gratitude to everyone for their role in making the RSTEP event a grand success. First of all, I would like to thank our honorable invited speakers from the IEEE Global Leadership, Mr. Burton Ditch and Kaipan Mark. Thank you so much, both of you, for finding time from your busy schedule to attend this event. To Mr. Burton Ditch, it was really a great experience to listen to your inspiring and encouraging words, especially regarding the high impact of IEEE STEM outreach. So we will definitely try to participate in more such programs. So that was really encouraging. Thank you very much, sir.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And to Dr. Kaipan Mark, it was so insightful to know the activities of the Hong Kong chapter. And thank you for sharing the valuable information with us. And we can definitely think about organizing some collaborative activities. That is IEEE Kerala section, Education Society Kerala chapter, in association with Hong Kong chapter. We can definitely think about organizing some collaborative activities. Thank you so much. Then moving on, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the executive committee members of the IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter for their support and encouragement throughout the RSTEP journey. Here, I would like to especially thank Professor Mohammad Qasim sir, Founder Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, and Engineer C.M. Varghese for their active encouragement and support in this regard. I'm extending my sincere gratitude to Dr. K. Keshavasamy, Advisor, IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, for providing significant inputs in both the RSTEP and Ideathon events for making them highly successful. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank Professor Gayatri M for her active involvement in the RSTEP, particularly in leading the anchoring team wonderfully. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank Engineer Sharathas. Without his hard work, the RSTEP event would not have been occurred at all. So, from submitting the project funding application to organizing each phase of this RSTEP, he almost single-handedly led the team RSTEP in a truly professional way. So I really appreciate it, and we all are thankful to you. Thanks, Then, along with him, I would like to thank Mr. Eldo Babu for his active support and involvement throughout this RSTEP journey. Next, I extend my sincere gratitude to our mentors and chief trainers of RSTEP. These are the people who came forward voluntarily to enhance the technical skills of underprivileged students. First, you can see in the screen, Mr. Abhinavar. See, they all conducted high quality training sessions. In particular, I would like to especially thank Mr. Abhinavar for his extreme hard work in this regard. Being a part of the team, I have seen see so many messages, everything coming from the student side, and he's answering everything very patiently, and that is very remarkable and appreciable. Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you, Mr. Abhinav. Thanks a lot. Then I would also like to thank Mr. Hari Govind. Hari Govind was also in the team. He is right now, you can see that in the screen. Thank you, Hari Govind. Then I would like to thank Mr. Akshay Krishnan and Mr. Hari Prasad. Thank you, Akshay and Hariprasad. And finally, Mr. Agarsh Ashok for providing excellent training and effective mentoring to rural school students. Thank you so much. Then, next, I would like to thank our IEEE Education Society student team for working hard in the past few months to make the RSTEP event a grand success. Actually, they are the ones who did all this hard work, so much work they did to realize the RSTEP event. In this regard, I would like to specially mention Mr. Sajin Sachidanandan for leading the team. Thank you, Sajin. And thank you all the student members. I am not in the position to mention all the names, but I know all of you worked hard, worked a lot to make this event a success. Finally, I would like to thank all the students, parents, and teachers who have been with us throughout the RSTEP journey, especially the school students who actively participated and submitted high quality project within the less time. That is really appreciable. So once again, thank you everyone on behalf of IEEE Education Kerala chapter. See you all again for another wonderful event. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kaipan. And thank you also, team. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Now we will have a photograph session. So I request everyone to switch on your cameras. I request everyone to switch on your cameras so we can have a photograph session. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.